Welcome to Marketing and Mindset for Wellness Coaches, the podcast for health coaches and wellness entrepreneurs just like you who are building a business, making the world a healthier place, and designing a first-class life. I'm your host, Kim Foster, MD and certified business coach, and I'm on a mission to help you up-level your strategy and raise your mindset so you can truly thrive and grow your business. Let's get started. If you are struggling with how to choose a price for your coaching programs, then you are going to love today's episode. My mission for this episode is to help you never undercharge or undervalue yourself ever again. And I'm really excited to talk to you about this topic because this is something that comes up all the time for my clients. So many coaches, especially new coaches, really struggle to know how to price their programs. But today I'm going to give you some concrete tips to help you charge the right price for your programs and services. This is actually something that I specialize in, helping new coaches like you to launch and scale their coaching businesses and especially to charge their worth. And today I'm going to give you the real talk. I'll be giving you the actual prices some of my clients are charging for their coaching programs because I want you to know what is happening out there and I want to take the guesswork out of it for you. Now, before we get there, let me just tell you about my free online training. It's called the 4-Part Formula for Replacing Your 9-to-5 Income with a Coaching Business You Love. And from what I'm seeing, there has never been a better time to build an online business that gives you freedom and flexibility and allows you to work from home or wherever you like and set your own schedule and truly create a career that gives you so much fulfillment. And I want to help as many people as possible to do that. So if you're someone who wants those things, then you're definitely going to want to watch my training for free by signing up at drkimfoster.com/business training, and I'll teach you my 4-part framework, my proven method for how I created a freedom-based business for myself and how I have helped countless clients to do the same. I was on a call with somebody recently and they said that they had just watched my training, and when they got to the part where I went through the top 3 mistakes, she was all, oops, I do that, I did that, I do that. So I can tell you I'm getting really great feedback on this training and I would love for you to watch it too, and then let me know how it helped you. Okay, so let's talk about how to pick the perfect price for your program so you never struggle to sell your services and you never struggle to make enough money in your business. Let's dive into that topic. All right, the first thing that you want to consider is the value of your coaching program. So many new coaches make the mistake of thinking that they should be charging by the hour. They set their prices based on the amount of time a client gets with them, or maybe for the number of workbooks and videos and other stuff that you're giving your clients. But that is a big mistake. You don't want your clients to assess the value based on how many hours or how much stuff you give them. Instead, you want them to value you based on the results and the outcome that you get for them. Now, those results can be tangible or intangible or both, but the best kind of outcomes are very specific, highly desirable outcomes. So some examples of tangible, measurable, specific outcomes are things like reduced medical expenses or reduced legal expenses or a better career or a more high-paying job. Examples of intangible outcomes are things that are like more joy or happiness or a longer life or a better life or a higher quality of life. But I want you to be cautious with these kinds of outcomes. You really don't want to leave them in this vague territory of get more free time, and instead translate it into something specific like reclaim 5 hours in your busy week just for yourself. So I recommend that you make a long list of the exact outcomes and all the tangible and intangible benefits that your clients will experience by working with you, and that is what you're charging for. Now, the second thing that you want to look at when you're trying to figure out what to price your programs at is the value of your time and how much time you're actually investing in your program. Now, although the results and the outcomes are the most important thing to focus on, your time, of course, does play a role in how much you'll charge because time is limited. We only have so much time in our day. So I want you to look at how many hours of your precious time you're actually investing in your coaching. And that includes everything. So it includes your one-to-one sessions, your Q&A calls, responding to emails, responding to social media messages, creating personalized reviews for people, and all the things that you are putting into your coaching that take up your time. And of course, a 6-week program will be at a lower price point than a 6-month program. So all of those things need to be factored in. Now, the third thing to consider is what will the market bear? Essentially, what are the going rates? What are your competitors charging? What is even possible in the coaching marketplace and in your particular niche? Now, in the beginning of this episode, I promised to give you some actual benchmarks. So here we go. Let's talk about what my coaching clients are actually charging for their programs. Now, my clients who are brand new coaches, right at the beginning, what I usually encourage them to do is set their prices as close to a premium range as possible. So for a 90-day program that is a private program with weekly coaching sessions, I suggest a starting price anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. Some of my clients who are brand new to coaching have set their prices at $2,500 and even $3,500 for a 90-day program, or of course much more if they are developing a 6-month program. And they have actually enrolled clients at those rates. Now, of course, this is a benchmark. It's really going to depend on a lot of factors, and it's something that I work closely with my clients and group participants to figure out their own sweet spot pricing. Now, for my clients who are more experienced coaches, again, I strongly encourage them to push their prices into the premium range. And we're going to talk about why in just a minute. But when you are perhaps an intermediate or a somewhat more experienced coach, you can command rates anywhere from $4,000 for a 90-day program up to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 or more. Truly, the more experienced and in demand you become as a coach, the higher you can command. And again, there are a lot of individual variables like your niche and your industry, your specific outcomes and things like that. But I'm hoping that those numbers give you just a general ballpark and really an idea of what is possible. Now, the fourth thing to consider is really giving yourself permission to charge your worth, and specifically to charge premium rates. Let's talk a bit more about why this is actually good for you and your clients to charge premium rates. I believe that coaching is a field that is highly influenced by pricing psychology. Perceived value means that when people see a higher price point, they automatically believe that product or service is better, that it's more effective or it will work better. And this applies to your coaching services. If you think about this for yourself, you have probably experienced this effect. So let's say that you're shopping for a new appliance, like a coffee maker. You look at the prices, one model is priced at $30, and then you see another coffee machine that's priced at $300. You will naturally assume that the coffee maker that is $300 is a higher quality. It's better made, it will do a better job of giving you a really great cup of coffee, and it will probably last longer, right? Your clients will have the same sort of pricing philosophy in mind when they are looking at you and your pricing and when they compare you to your competitors. So you want to go out there with a premium price. You'll be able to benefit from this phenomenon, but the thing is, your clients will benefit too. When you actually position yourself as an expert and a high-end provider in the industry, not only will clients take you more seriously, they will also get better results because they will be more committed if they have more skin in the game. When you're charging low prices, you may actually end up with clients who are less committed. And it's not just a perception thing. It plays out in reality too, because when you charge lower prices, you will end up having to take on more clients to meet your income goals, which means more people on your schedule and less time for you, plus less time for each client. With more clients, you have much less time to dedicate to each client, and your quality of service might actually decline. So all of that is why I definitely recommend that you go higher end with your pricing, because it's not only going to help you earn more, but it will also help you provide higher quality services to your clients. Now, the fifth thing to consider when it comes to pricing is a question that came from one of my clients. Recently, inside my group, Business Academy for Coaches, one of the women in there raised the question, what about posting your prices on your website? Should you post them or should you keep them hidden and only discuss your actual prices on a phone call? So we discussed in detail the two different schools of thought on this, and we had a really great conversation and discussion about this inside the group. Now, there are advantages and disadvantages to both schools of thought, but I happen to have a preference for posting your prices. I happen to think that it is a better idea to make your prices visible to people who are considering your services. And let me tell you a story to illustrate the reason why. Now, when I was in Rome a couple of years ago, I went into a really gorgeous looking boutique in the Spanish Steps. That was where we were staying. I immediately loved the feel of this store. It had a minimal kind of feel, really great lighting, modern but kind of cozy somehow. And the clothes that I saw in the window before I walked in were absolutely gorgeous. Inside the store, I went to the first rack and I looked at some blouses that were hanging there. They were so pretty and stylish and really unlike anything I typically saw in the stores at home. And I could tell that the quality was really good. So I pulled out a beautiful cream-colored blouse that I just loved the look of, and I did what most people do at this point. I went down to the sleeve to check the price tag, and there was no tag. So I looked at the back collar for a tag perhaps there. Nothing. All right, so I moved on to a different top that was more like a jacket. It was hanging nearby, and I looked for the price tag on that one. There was no tag. And then I realized it was one of those boutiques. Clearly, if they didn't even have price tags on their clothes, they were not in my budget. I didn't even bother trying on the blouse or the jacket or any of the other beautiful clothes in the store because I figured there was no point getting excited about them and seeing how they looked on me because there was no way that I would be able to afford them. So I slunk back out of the store onto the cobblestone streets outside, feeling, kind of sad, looking for a gelateria to make me feel better, and then maybe to find a store that I could actually afford. So this, in my opinion, illustrates what happens to your clients when they come to your website and they don't see any prices listed. They're going to assume that your services will be way out of their budget, and they'll just click away looking for something that is, first of all, listed, but also obviously much more in their budget. People will often expect the worst. Why would they then go ahead and book a discovery call with you when it very well may end up being a huge waste of time for them? And if there's one thing that people feel even more scarce about than money, it's time. Nobody wants to get on a call with someone to find out their rates and learn that they are not at all in the ballpark of what they can manage, and then feel kind of like a jerk that they have wasted their time and yours and have to make up some kind of lame excuse to get off the call. Nobody wants to do that. They're not going to do that. They're just going to keep searching for somebody else. In my opinion, you are letting a lot of opportunities click away if you don't list your prices on your website. Sure, maybe somebody who's really obsessed with your stuff, like a super fan, they might book a call and might not be deterred by the lack of prices listed, but that won't be the majority. And think about all those lost opportunities. Plus, I don't really love the sort of secret vibe that you set up when you don't list your prices. It doesn't feel transparent or forthcoming, and I just don't really like that. I also think that sometimes people need a little time to let a price point sink in. Many, many times I have personally had the experience of learning the price for something and feeling that initial gut punch that there is no way I could manage it. And then I start to think about it and kind of sit with it and go back and review the benefits again and absorb it a little more. And gradually I start thinking about how I could make it work because I really do want it. Now, sometimes that process happens quickly, like in a matter of days, and sometimes it's kind of slowly, but rarely is it ever in the span of what a 30-minute discovery call would be. I think people need a beat to get over their sticker shock, and by listing your prices on your site, it gives them that chance. And then once they've let it sink in and they realize how much they still really do want what you have on offer, they'll book that call, which also means you're only going to get people on the phone with you who are really great pre-qualified leads. They're serious, they know what they're getting into, and the conversation is so much less awkward in my experience. Now, all of this is personal preference and it's based on my experience and observations, but you get to do you. I have some clients who have great reasons for not listing their prices on their site, and it works great for them. So if this is what you're doing and it's working really well for you, then I say don't change a thing. Now, there are certain situations that I think do work really well with an unlisted prices approach. If you're creating a very high-end or upscale VIP event or package or something, things like an in-person VIP day or perhaps an in-person retreat, if your intention is for it to be very exclusive and with a lot of limiters in size, for example, that may work very well with an unlisted price approach. When you're catering to that kind of clientele, you're looking to attract the kind of high flyers that maybe need to complete an application. And this is an elite offering, and your clients actually are going to expect a very high price tag. So in that situation, not listing your prices would be perfectly appropriate and may actually work better with the brand and the vibe. Okay, so there you have it. Let's just wrap up, and I'm just going to review the 5 things to consider when it comes to pricing your programs. 1 is the actual value of your program, meaning what are the results, the outcome. You want to price your program based on what a person is going to get out of working with you. 2 is the amount of time it will take you to deliver, and I don't just mean a coaching by the hour rate. I mean how much time it will take you to deliver all of the components, including feedback, emailing, preparing for the calls, post-call follow-up, all of those pieces. Number 3 is what will the market bear? And I gave you some benchmark prices from my own clients just to give you a ballpark and to give you some ideas. Number 4 is keeping in mind a premium pricing strategy, remembering the importance of the perceived value of your program and how much it facilitates transformation when it comes to coaching. And then number 5 is making a decision about whether to list your prices on your website or not. All right, so now that you have made some empowered decisions about your pricing for your coaching packages, you might be wondering, where are the clients? You might be feeling very excited, especially now, about connecting with clients and selling your programs. And if you are, I want to invite you to sign up for my free online masterclass that I mentioned earlier. It's the class where I share with you my 4-part framework to get all the coaching clients you could ever want. There is a link in the show notes, or you can simply go to drkimfoster.com/business training, and you can sign up for free and be attending that training this week. And I also want to mention that I am now enrolling for my next cohort of my group coaching program, Business Academy for Coaches. If you would love to be coached and mentored by me personally inside a small group of like-minded women who are also building their coaching businesses, then I would love to have you inside the group. If you're craving a really high vibe, supportive community, if you would love a framework and expert guidance and mentorship, if you are done with trying to go it alone and reinvent the wheel when it comes to growing a successful online coaching business, I invite you to check out the Academy. Everything you need to know is at drkimfoster.com/academy, and I'll also put that link in the show notes to make it nice and easy for you. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I hope it helped clear up the highly confusing topic of how to price your coaching packages and how to charge your worth and earn a great income doing something you absolutely love. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you. As always, take care, stay well, and I will talk to you next time. Bye for now.